afternoon. I call to order the regular board meeting on April the 14th, 2026 at 3:30 p.m. Roll call. Mr. Mark Anderson.
Absent.
Absent. Mr. Harry Block.
Here.
Mr. Bruce Mandrake.
Here.
Mr. Jack Turner.
Present.
Lily Campbell, present. Do we have public comments regarding items to be discussed in closed session?
We have no public comments.
No public comments. We will be convening out of this room for closed sessions, and then we will come back and reconvene after closed session. The items for closed session are employee personnel matter pursuant to Government Code Section 54957, close anticipated litigation, Government Code Section 54956.9, and finally, closed session personnel matter, employee discipline, dismissal, release, Government Code Section 54957. These are the items for closed session, and we will now leave the room for closed session and reconvene later. Okay, thank you. And no action was taken, just received information from our CBO and our superintendent. So welcome, everyone. We are ready to get started again with our regular board meeting now that we have finished with our closed session. So we are ready. Do we have any public comments now for the regular meeting?
Yes, ma'am. We have one public comment from Safe Abram in regards to school culture.
Hi, I'm Safe Abraham, and I just wanted to talk about my school and about like my principal, because I feel like the students, right, are like not getting trust from their principal, because as a principal you're supposed to have trust from your principal, right? And I just have a lot of problems because I don't want to say any student's name or anything, but I'm speaking on behalf of the students. Some students are getting accused of having marijuana on them, and some students are telling me that the principal said that she would bring the, I don't know, cops with the dogs to sniff, sniff them to see if they have any marijuana on them. Though they said that they don't have any of that stuff on them. And also, I want to talk about at lunchtime, every lunchtime, and the principal stands in front of the bathroom, right? Leaving the doors of boys and girls' bathrooms to be open while standing in the middle, leaving them open, which I don't have a problem, right? But some people, right, when they see that, how can they feel trusted to go inside the bathroom while the doors are open? Like, they want to use the bathroom, they might feel uncomfortable and be like, okay, I'm not going to use the bathroom. And that's bad for them, for their health and their bladder. So, and also, there has been a lot of problems going on between students and students, and as a principal, you're supposed to be able to deal with these problems against these students. Like, if they're having a fight, if they're having, I don't know, problems with each other, if they don't like each other or something, or they might just, how can I say it, feel emotionally afraid or something from other students. Because one student might say, oh, because there's like no principal to handle this, right? One student says, okay, I'm going to do this and this and that, right? Like, what's the word for it? Assault them or hit them or try to make them afraid or something. But what I wanted to say is that also there's like freshmen that have been missing out on classes, and one of the classes are the science classes. And the science classes, right, as freshmen, there's like a way every freshman that goes inside of CCS high school have to attend these classes. And we're already in the second semester, and these students cannot be missing out on education because the teacher's not coming. And the principal's supposed to deal with that. If the teacher's not coming, another substitute is supposed to come. If he's unable to come, or he has something, or he's not allowed to come. So that's all I want to talk about.
Thank you very much, and your information will be taken into consideration, and it will be looked at by the superintendent and cabinet.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Any other? That's it.
No other public comments.
Okay, thank you. Welcome, everyone. I don't know if I said that before, but welcome. We're so glad to see you. And thank you for being here this evening, this afternoon, must be afternoon, I've kind of lost track of time. So, with that, we are going to move right into our board agenda. And we will start off with the superintendent's update. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Thank you, Madam President and members of the board. Good evening and welcome to our board meeting to everyone. First of all, I'd like to start off by taking a moment to recognize and celebrate. We are moving into the Lao, Thai, and Cambodian New Year. So again, another opportunity for us to celebrate. Actually, one of our administrators, there we go, Angie Praksayavong Briones is Lao. And so I got the one right? Yes. Thank you. And so we just want to take a moment and celebrate our many staff as well as family and community who are Laos, Thai, and Cambodian. So Happy New Year. Last month, board, I had the opportunity to attend the California Association of African American Superintendents and Administrators Conference. It was a great opportunity to spend some time not only with other superintendents and leaders across the state, but also with the president of Sac State. And we were really proud to be a part of an announcement that Dr. Wood made at the conference, as well as across the organization of CASA, which is a subsect of AXA. And our wonderful board president, I believe, probably had something to do many years ago with the beginning of CASA and bringing that group together. So here's one of the things that we're really excited that came out as a result of the superintendents of CASA and the president of Sac State. We all signed a joint agreement that would offer students who meet CSU requirements will receive priority admissions and access to support programs that help them transition and succeed in college, as well as guaranteed admissions into the Black Honors College at Sac State. And that is just a direct partnership with us and the president there at Sac State. So really proud of that. And so as a result of being a CASA member in a member district, our students will have access to this program starting immediately. And so we're really excited about that opportunity. Over the past 2 weeks, I have visited every school site, and I still have a balance of some that I'll be visiting the next few weeks for our spring presentations, as I'm calling them the Budget Roadshow. I've given an overview of our current budget outlook as well as steps that we're taking to right-size the organization, protect classroom instruction, and continue making thoughtful decisions about our students and how we keep our promise as an organization to ensure that we are fiscally sound and solvent. And so really excited about that work as we continue. I want to just highlight that last month our professional learning team hosted our annual Math Bowl competition. There they go. It was really nice to see our students from across our schools come together and compete. Math does not always get the kind of competitive energy that, basketball, wrestling, all that, but it belongs right up there. So it was nice to see our students get into it and enjoy. I want to just offer huge congratulations to our teams of this year's winners. For 5th grade, our first place winners were COA Elementary School. Yay! Go Eagles! Second place was GIS Grizzlies, and third place was HLA Eagles. So congratulations to COA as our first place winner for the 5th grade. 8th grade, our winners for the 8th grade was Epic Owls. Is Dr. Kashin here? I thought I saw him.
Yeah, he's here.
There he is, Epic Owls. So congratulations. I will tell you, I see Dr. Kosh, who the coach was. I understand now. If you have never visited Mr. Cornejo's class, you need to go there. You will see math in an entirely different light, and I think it's a model. So congratulations to Epic for first place for 8th grade. Second place was COA Middle School, go Huskies, and third place was HLA Eagles. In the high school area, I'm like, whoa. Our first place for high school was CCCS. Great job, Angie and team. Our second place was Futures Knights, and then our third place was the Salva Sabercats. So I want to take this opportunity to affirm our professional learning team for organizing such an exciting, engaging event. Again, we have the sports, but I really love our academic competitions, and I think that those are done well. COA had the opportunity on April the 9th, I think you'll see me up there with the lab coat, to attend the COA Family STEM Night and Science Night. It was a great opportunity to see our families building and problem solving together. I think I saw some kids making slime, and a group of 5th graders showed me their, what was it, Ms. Lewis, a snake trap, where they trapped a snake. And so it's a fake snake, not real, but it was exciting to see. I also had the opportunity to attend the CCCS Spring Festival. It was a great event. You may even see that I took a photo with a bunny, but I believe you may see at some point that I took a photo with another animal. So we'll see what happens down the road with that. But it was great to be there, to be with our students. More than anything, it was really great to see our students and families enjoying the event together. Finally, on April the 10th, I had the opportunity to attend the Superintendent Student Advisory Council meeting where our students are getting ready for their board presentation next month, which they will come and share their recommendations. Our students also had the opportunity to discuss our Phone-Free Act, and I'm really excited with some of their suggestions and thoughts that they are looking forward to bringing forward. With that being said, that is the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Superintendent. Board members, any comments, any questions, anything for the superintendent on this report? Yes, Mr.
I'm impressed, really congratulations on the agreement with Sac State. That's really a major, and I know you're going to start advertising, promoting that.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I want to acquiesce to the math bowl. It was a great job. You guys worked hard. It looked really good inside, and I was very impressed. So thank you. Thank you for the hard work, all of Dr. Gold and everyone else there. It was very rewarding to see. And congratulations to our winners on behalf of the board. Thank you. Anything else? Seeing none, we continue with our study session. And our first study session is GCC Board Recognition, Futures High School, Hydrogen Grand Prix Global Racing Movement. Oh, are you ready? Yes.
I'm ready. I'm just making sure these guys are ready.
All right.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to recognize some students at Futures High School. Just a quick backstory of what you're looking at, the Hydrogen Grand Prix, and where this came about. So my wife's a lobbyist here in California, and she tends to go to a lot of conferences. And one of the conferences that she went to was around energy. She represents the Almond Alliance group, and a lot of that comes with agriculture. So a lot of what they're looking for is different sources of energy that will support the farmers here in California. So just so happened that she's walking through the floor, looking at all the different vendors. She came across a group, the H2GP group. That's a foundation that provides education around renewable, greener use of energy. And so what drew the attention was was a car. She thought maybe she could buy something for the kids because there was a car and a remote. You know how little ones are with that. And she went and had a conversation with one of the representatives there, and she immediately texted me, called me, says, "Hey, I have a connection for you. I want you to look into this. I think it'd be awesome for your school. Really neat." Okay, Aaron. we'll do this. So what led to that led to a Zoom call, led to a conversation with the professional learning team, led to a conversation with our community schools team, Ramon, about maybe after-school program. It also led to a teacher conversation with our engineering teacher at Futures. And what tend to be kind of like, okay, let's see where this goes, turned out to be something that just completely blew out of the water and seen so much success and so many great things so far have come from our students and the team. And so that is what I want to just make sure that we are aware of, just how our students are constantly surprising us and really showing us everything that they have with opportunities that they're given, even as simple as something like this that was given to us for free. But for that, I want to bring up our team captain, teacher advisor, Ms. Lefkovich, briefly talk about our students and then go off with the rest of our presentation. Thanks.
All right, good evening, members of the board and everybody else. My name is Ms. Levkovich, so I am teaching PLCW at Futures High School for 19 years already. And when I heard about this, so we accepted the challenge, and I think we did the right thing. It is my honor to take a moment to recognize our exceptional group of students. Our team recently competed in the Hydrogen Grand Prix International STEM competition and challenges students to design, build, and raise hydrogen prototypes. After countless hours of testing and commitment to learning far beyond the classroom, the students rose to the top and they won. So what makes this achievement even more meaningful is not just the victory itself, but the journey behind it. It is perseverance. They showed the collaboration in every step of the process, the curiosity that pushed them to keep improving and improving. I would also like to highlight contributions of each team member. Daniel, as a team captain, showed outstanding leadership, coordinating both the technical and logistical aspects of the project, maintaining clear communication, and inspiring confidence in the entire team every single day. He even called me today, like, Ms. Levkovich, don't forget the car. So he's a good manager. Michael, our team mechanic, exceeded all expectations with his technical expertise and persistence, ensuring that the car performed at its very best and solving challenges with creativity and precision. You should see his working table. It's a little bit messed. I mean, it's a big mess, but we have a great results anyway. Avinir, our driver, showed exceptional focus and control, guiding the car with a steady hand and remarkable composure under such a pressure. I'm very impressed. Kelly brought incredible attention to detail, ensuring that the car was not only high-performing, but also polished and presentation ready. Nikita, thank you for jumping in at the last minute notice and helping our team to win. Together, they have represented our school with excellence and demonstrated what is possible when students are empowered to explore science, engineering, innovation in meaningful ways. We are incredibly proud of their accomplishments, and I ask that you, the board, and the principal to support us in our efforts to continue with this kind of project where students take full responsibility and enable them to succeed in the future. Thank you.
We have a video. Okay, great. Thank you.
Hello everyone. We are Futures Nice, and we are part of the star category in the H2 GP race. This is a 1 to 10 scale hydrogen RC car. The hydrogen enters the fuel cell stack while the anode splits the electrons and protons. The electrons, which pass through an external circuit, that is electricity, powers the motor, while the protons pass through a membrane and combine with the oxygen to form water. What we have right here is our hydrogen process. goes into the PEM cell and it makes and undergoes a reaction called reverse electrolysis. What that reaction is it takes oxygen from the atmosphere and combines it with hydrogen that we have in statistics. When you combine hydrogen and oxygen, you have two products, water and energy. Water product. Energy goes into the ESC and goes into the motor, in addition to the energy from our battery.
Good afternoon, board. So what we have here is the hydrogen car that we raced, and taking off the top, which was designed by Kelly, it looks intimidating at first, but mainly it's made up of three parts. The first part is the mechanical part. You have the steering system and the motor, as well as the battery as well. What we decided to do as an innovation is we changed the steering system completely. We decided to make it more simple, more reliable, and Daniel actually 3D printed this blue part that you can all see right here. It makes the steering just better. The second part is the fuel cell that we talked about in the video. If you look at this silver thing, this is what has all the hydrogen reaction, which combines the hydrogen and electric to power the car. The third part is these wires right here. This is what we call telemetry, and simply, it's basically the same or equivalent to the speedometer on your car. On your car, it tells you when you have to change your oil, how fast you're going, and when you have to refuel. In the same way that we have sensors on this RC car, it tells us when we have to change out our hydrogen sticks, when we're going too fast or too slow, and also when we have to change out our battery. That's basically how the car works, loosely. Okay, next.
Hello board, my name is Daniel Z. I'm a part of Futures High Schools. I'm currently in 11th grade, and I want to say thank you for inviting us over, letting us say a few words, and thank you Michael, you did a great speech, and thank you Ms. Lefkich for everything you said too. And back to what I wanted to say. This whole, I guess you could say, this whole group that we're a part of, H2GP, it's not only benefiting the students, it's also benefiting the board too, and this whole school body. Since, let's just start off with the student group. We are able to implement our problem-solving skills, we're able to be recognized, we're able to build things, and our engineering teacher was teaching us this in the first two engineering courses. I took the first engineering course in my freshman year, where I was taught the basics of 3D modeling, and of programming too. And then in the second engineering course, we were taught more how to work with our hands. We were taught how to build things, use power tools, all of that type of stuff. Everything that basically added up to where we are right now. This all helped us with the 3D printing, with 3D modeling, with general problem-solving skills, and we got recognized for it, and also we are, you could say, adding to the school's reputation too, because last week on Tuesday we were on the radio announcing that we were going to nationals, which is located in Switzerland, and that we all had a lot of help, not only from the teachers but also from all of our group members. I want to say thank you for everyone for helping us out, and how it helps out the school board and the schools. It's almost like an advertisement, you could say. We are promoting the school, we are promoting what we're strong at, and we're really strong in the engineering course. We are able to, one of the things that we could do is, well, I think I said this too many times, 3D modeling, of course. I'm just good at it, I like it, that's why I'm probably saying it too many times. And we're also good at programming, we're good at building, we're good at problem solving, and our engineering teacher taught us all that. And that's all. I'd like to say thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Hi, board. My name is Kelly Kessler. So, most of us probably got here today using a gas-powered car. But every time we drive, that fuel is being burned and it releases carbon monoxide into the atmosphere, which pollutes the air that we breathe every day. Not only that, when you burn gasoline, It also releases carbon dioxide, which is a greenhouse gas, basically meaning it contributes to global warming and also climate change. So this is where hydrogen comes in, and hydrogen-powered vehicles. Clean hydrogen has massive potential as an alternative fuel source, not only just for cars, but also for entire industries. When used as a fuel, hydrogen produces water vapor instead of toxic chemicals like fossil fuels. That makes it an incredibly strong alternative for reducing greenhouse gases in the environment and cleaning the air that's polluted. It's also extremely abundant. Hydrogen is present in all of the water all around the globe. So this is really important. We need this abundance as gas prices are rising and global conflicts cause gas shortages. So if we want to reduce the impact of climate change, it's important that we make this switch to renewable energy sources like hydrogen. So as the demand for hydrogen technology is growing, so does the need for engineers and innovators in this field. Actually, a McKinsey report estimated that by 2050, about the hydrogen industry is going to produce about $750 billion a year, and also support around 3.4 million jobs. So that's why it's so important that programs like H2GP give students like us an opportunity to not only learn about the potential of hydrogen, but engineer a car with it ourselves and be in this future now of hydrogen-powered things. It's also amazing that we also get to use these hydrogen-powered cars in a race, see it in action, and compete. So by supporting our team, you're helping invest in students who could go on to contribute to this growing industry in the future. That's all. Thank you.
Good afternoon, board. My name is Nikita Artemov, and I would like to talk about the market demand for the hydrogen cars. The current production of hydrogen cars are expected to keep up with the California laws mandating that all cars or all passenger cars are to be zero emission by 2035. This would include hydrogen cars similar to ours, just bigger. Now, in August of 2025, there are 61 hydrogen fueling stations with a plan to expand these factories to 112. And in April of 2025, there are 14,128 hydrogen cars registered, and with an projected increase of 15% by 2028. While the growth may seem slow, there's also a company, the ARCHES, or the Alliance for Renewable Clean Hydrogen Energy Systems, that is helping lower the cost of hydrogen, thus also making it more affordable. And we've seen that affordability is also one of the leading drives or factors to purchasing these hydrogen cars, as in 2021 when Toyota had an 89% spike due to government incentives and discounts. Sorry about that. Additionally, sorry about that. Additionally, with the increase of gas prices in both global and state markets, it is becoming more viable to buy these hydrogen cars, and the jokes about, oh, it's time to switch to Tesla is actually becoming more of a reality if it hasn't already. Sorry about that. Now, what else was I going to say? Is it fine if I quickly take out the text just to make sure I'm not, missing anything? That way it's a little bit calmer.
Overachievers, man.
I know, right? Yeah. So according to AAA, the average gas price for unleaded gasoline in Sacramento, California is $5.41. That would also make, assuming you fill up a 15-gallon car, $80 a visit, and that is also not accounting for larger vehicles or cars using premium gasoline or diesel. With the current technology overpacing the quantity market demand, and also, with the current technologies overpacing the quantity market demand, the market demand is also expected to spike up once the current surplus becomes cheap. Thus, this is also one of the few teams that gets to show its technologies to the world. That is all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, board. My name is Avenir Karpuk, and I didn't memorize anything, so I'm going to be reading it off the phone. And for the past 6 months, we dedicated ourselves to learn more about the car, the hydrogen car, and figure out its functions. Our hard work allowed us to get this far, to get to nationals through winning the state competition, and we also got an invitation to Switzerland. And we know it's a big ask, but we asked the board to allow us to experience this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and we won't let you down. That's all.
Thank you very, very much. I think you've been putting in a little talk there for Switzerland. We heard you. We heard you. Board members, I know you have comments. Anyone? Did you, Bruce? No. No comment?
Impressive.
Just impressive, very impressive. We're very proud of you, very proud of your accomplishments, very proud of what you did at the finals. And we have heard about Switzerland, so it has certainly been taken into consideration. Is that right, Superintendent?
That's correct, Madam President.
That is correct. Anything else from you, Superintendent?
Other than just definitely, number one, proud of our students. And your presentation, good job, guys. So we would like to have you bring the car up and take a picture with the board. And we have a certificate for you that we'll give to your coach, who can give those to you later. But if you'll just join us on the stage for a quick picture. And again, great job with your presentation tonight. Congratulations on...
We're very proud of all of you. We really are.
Wait a minute, what I got to stall next to the tall guy? Wait a minute, no. Come down here.
Is that it?
You guys see I wore my future shirt for something, huh?
I saw it.
Thank you once again. Thank you, sir. Principal, before you leave, we forgot to mention that we had a WASC visit at your school, and we enjoyed, the superintendent and I visited, as you well know. And it was very well put together, and thank you so much. So I just wanted to mention that for the minutes, that we did attend your WASC meeting, and thank you for your hard work.
And the students just gave me a new name thing, so I'm going to put that here tonight instead.
What?
So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Request from the College and Career Fair.
I didn't get mine, so
Coming
I,
through. You didn't request. Could have put those orders in. Yeah, we have a few kids who got to jump over and head over to a volleyball game. 3 of them are on the volleyball team, so they got to head over to Sacramento. So that's why they were out
Thank
here
you
quick.
so
But
much.
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.
thank you.
Beat the
Take care, sweets.
That's the cocoon kids.
Great presentation, great presentation. And now we are ready for our second great presentation. Sacramento Academic and Vocational Academy, SAVA, Annual School Report. So we're looking forward to that.
So, Madam President, as Director Ash comes up, I want to share with the board, this is a time of year when we'll start our annual reports to the board. Board, you may remember last year we changed our model a little bit. Instead of bringing every school every year, we have split them up in half, and so we're starting the second half of our reports. Last year you had 3 schools, now we're starting with our next group, or 4 schools, excuse me. We're starting with our next group, and so the first one tonight is Director Ash and the Sacramento Academic Vocational Academies team. So, Director Ash.
Thank you.
Hello, welcome. Thank you, Superintendent Sample, board members, cabinet members, everybody else here in the audience, and our staff and family and friends out in the online platform. Thank you for having me tonight to present the 25-26 end-of-year report for SAVA. As we jump in, I want to start with good things. Of course, looking at all 3 SAVAs this year went into renewal, and all 3 were approved for renewal for their 5 years. In addition, we are continuously working on our multi-tiered systems of support implementation with academics, behavior, and SEL support. We've been able to expand that more broadly and dig down deeper into that. And then we have our literacy goal for this school year, which I'll talk a little bit more in a different slide around informational text. And we've just seen documented student improvement already. We continue to work on our 5-year strategic plan for 100% of our graduates to be college and career prepared. And this year, we were awarded the Sustainable Business Award. We were one of 8 businesses in Sacramento County and the only school entity. Just want to point out the pictures, and that first picture to my left, I'm assuming it's your left as well, is the folks at our Sac City Unified School District Board meeting, all the families, staff, students who came to represent at renewal. And then the picture on the right is at the Sustainable Business Award. Jumping into SAVA Learning, looking at our CAS and school dashboard data. As we look at that data, I wanted to present to you the last 3 years. SAVA piloted the IXL platform for our local assessment and for interventions. I did want to highlight, I don't have growth data yet because it's still school time and we don't have the end of the year data, but I did want to highlight our IXL students' time on task. You can see how much time they're spending and the math and the English skills that they're mastering. So those are skills that they have knowledge gaps in, that they're now mastering, and that they're now able to move forward with. I do want to affirm Principal Smith with some strategic planning around IXL. She worked on looking at her IXL data, students that were on the
Continuing with SAVA's DOS data, SAVA is a dashboard for alternative school status, meeting one of the criteria to the right. 70% or more of students are eligible for DOS when they meet one of those criteria. So as a DOS school, SAVA, with our authorizer, GCC with our authorizers, all look at different ways that we can show growth. Each of our district authorizers have a slightly different way that they're measuring it. So I can put all the measurements up there for you all to see. And they also look at comparable schools within the area. So if you see our one-year grad rate, our CCR prepare, our chronic absenteeism either matches or is better than our surrounding similar schools. And then when you look at our ELA performance, our math performance, it's a 5% increase, and we're hitting those marks for all 3 of the SAVA schools. And our retention rate is either is to be at 70% or more, or increase 2%, and we've hit those marks as well. So as you can see, all DOS indicators are being met. As we continue with learning, I want to talk about SAVA's school learning plan. And of course, you all know that we have a 5-year strategic plan that all of our graduates will be college and career ready by the time that they graduate. And that goal is still ongoing. But what was interesting going into this school year is we really wanted to change up our academic focus. So we took a deep dive into data, we took a deep dive with our partners to get input, and we talked to our families, our students, our staff, and they really said, 2 main areas came out. Really, our students were falling behind in writing, and our students were falling behind in reading. And then when we looked at our CASP and our iReady scores, it said the same thing, but it really said that our students are falling behind in informational text. And to me, that was surprising because we are here for CTE, career technical education. That's in our name, that's in what we do, and our students are struggling reading that material. So after we took that deep dive, we decided that, you can't be a good writer unless you're a good reader. So as a school, we're focusing on, and you can see that area for improvement, that's the standard. We're citing strong and thorough textual evidence, you can continue reading that, and really focusing on informational text. I want to really thank the professional learning team for their support with this. This is a school-wide initiative, so all of our instructional staff, all of our teachers are being professionally trained, professionally developed in this learning target, in all 4 of these learning targets that hit that standard, so that they can, no matter where a student is, if they're with their IS teacher, if they're with their math teacher, if they're with their CTE teacher, they're getting this knowledge. And it's been a school-wide effort, and from the students' experience, that's what they see. They go everywhere and they hear about this. And what I do want to point out on this slide is you can see we have pre-assessment data, and then right now we're on benchmark 3. So you can see from learning target 1, if you look at the orange, that's proficient, we've increased about 10%. Learning target 2, we've increased about 4%. Learning target 3, we've increased almost 20%. So you can see that from the beginning of the school year till now, we're seeing positive growth. We don't know learning target 4 because that's what we're in right now. And then we'll have a post-assessment data that will show the full growth. So really excited and happy to share that with you all tonight. For SAVA, we always love to build capacity. I do want to thank our vice principals, Michael Mendoza, Michael Serde, James Stoops, and Rakita Bluford, for implementing our positive behavioral intervention and support. We are in our first year of implementation, so we're in tier 1, and our vice principals have been leading our staff and attending all of the professional development around that. So really proud of the work that they're doing to support our students in PBIS. At least one staff from every SAVA campus is also part of Gateway Community Charter's Empowering Leaders program. So that's just a huge highlight in terms of building staff capacity. And then for students, I'm just gonna say we're gonna level up with futures here in a minute, but we're gonna continue to do design build our competition. So this is the first year that we're really expanding our competitions. And I can't talk about how we did in them because none of them have happened yet. They're all this month and next month. But we're gonna be also participating in the NorCal Fire Muster, where students will show off their skills in, throwing the hose, how fast they can get into their equipment. We will participate in the SMUD solar car race, and they have to design a car using renewable materials that is solar powered, and they're gonna race it. And then the SMUD culinary competition. Our culinary students will be competing with an electric stove, and that's the real key piece there, is that it's electric. And they'll be cooking up some dishes and having a competition with that. So, and then of course we participated in the GCC Math Bowl, and that was just amazing for our students. For all of these, the team building, the focus, the academics behind it, it really comes into play. It's that work-based learning all coming together. And then over the summer, we had a group of students attend the Smithsonian Folklife Festival to really show off our EV lowrider. And I think, listening to the student stories, one of the highlights from that was our students when they got to be on the discussion panels. There was over 3,000 people attending this festival that they got to interact with and talk to. And when they would get up on the discussion panels, there was hundreds of people listening to them. And they were asked questions about our vehicle, about who we were, and they nailed it. And having those experiences outside of the classroom really just brings the learning and the curriculum to life. All right, our SABA special populations, really looking at our increase in dual enrollment participation from last year to this school year. As you all know, research shows that students that are at risk, at promise, if they participate in dual enrollment, which is who dual enrollment is made for, then there's more likely that they will participate in higher education. So getting an opportunity for our students to participate, to engage in dual enrollment, to feel success, that is a key for them to possibly continue on with that education. So really seeing those increases in numbers really shows our growth in our participation, and then you can see the special populations and the percentage of students that are participating in dual enrollment. So still working on increasing that, but just a really great data from last year to this year. We also have increased our internship participation. We've got, just to name a few, we have internships at Eric Guerrera's office, Triple R Adult Care, Hyatt with the lead chef. And I just want to affirm our college and career ready team. They have done tremendous work to get our partners, make sure we have all the paperwork done, and really make sure our students are having a fulfilling experience. Just a quick story, last year one of our students, Julian, participated in the Lennar construction internship, and he was with the Rescue Electric, so he learned all the electrical side of it. Well, just a couple weeks ago, he reached out and he let us know that he is now in the Navy as an electrician, and it just makes you feel good. Those are the success stories that come out of these dual enrollment and internship opportunities that our students have. SABA's SEL supports for staff and students. I really want to highlight our resource fair. Over 400 families attended our resource fairs across SABA. I want to thank the Community Engagement Department for supporting with those resource fairs, for supporting with extra donations for our families, for supporting their time and being there. And just me as an observer, seeing the needs from our families and how we can help provide our families just some of those basic necessities. In addition to, a group donated a bunch of little kids' purses, and some of our teens grabbing those purses and be like, oh, I'm gonna give this to my little sister for Christmas. And having those extra resources for their family, you could just see how much that filled their bucket. I want to also highlight our partnerships with SAC Youth Center and Pro Youth Support with our mental health services. And then I want to affirm Principal Stofford with her hard work in her fitness and recreation pathway at her Twin Rivers campus. She's supporting learning outcomes with increasing fitness and nutrition as she continues to help build capacity with students and staff there. As we look at our SABA program offerings, I just want to highlight a couple of these areas. We've had great success with our cohorts. And when I say our cohorts, our true 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th graders that are cohorted through our system. Just to highlight one success at Saba Power Inn, we have 6 12th graders that are in the cohort graduating, and they've already been accepted to Sac State going into next school year. So just huge accomplishments for those students. I also want to affirm Principal Lorenzi at Sim Center leading with our early childhood education pathway and our Build Your Future implementation. She's really supported that pathway, especially with the tie with the city. We're in the works right now of starting an internship program with the city, and her work and her connections there have really helped lead that. One of my goals going into this year was also having all of our career technical educations have industry recognized certifications in every pathway, and we're there, and that's a big accomplishment. Just to name a few, manufacturing students get OSHA 10, culinary students get Safe Serve kitchen management, ag students get natural resource management, and I could list 15 more. So, but it's just a highlight of what our students are getting. It doesn't stop with their diploma. After their diploma, what is it that they're going to do next? Those certificates, those industry recognized certifications are going to help them get that next job. I do want to highlight, we have worked with a company to get our students drone pilot certs. That's the FSA 107 certification. And there's a huge need for drone pilots out there, and drone pilots are making $100,000 a year. And it's a great business, and we're gonna look at that at public safety, with fire, with ag, and with media arts. And I mean, just to give a quick statistic, just Walmart alone cannot fill their drone pilot vacancies, and they need pilots, and they're paying $100,000 a year. So that's one company, and that's not even the company that we're aiming our kids to go to. So it'll be a great opportunity for our students. Saba engagement. I want to thank the College and Career Readiness team for making sure that all of our CTE pathways have advisory meetings. If you've ever had them or having them in the next couple weeks. I've sat in all of them, and one of my favorites has been that picture right there. That's the manufacturing advisory team, and we've got industry partners, students, parents, and it's really fun to hear what our students need from the industry partners, but it's also fun to hear from the students what they're learning. And in that moment, that industry partner was like, hey, our student was talking and is like, I got an internship for you, like, I've got a job for you, let's make this happen. And so in the moment, he's making a connection for a student that was on that panel. Our patient care advisory, we had a representation from Kaiser and Unitech, and we've already seen them come back to the school, be speakers, and we're continuing to build upon those partnerships. So small, what seemingly might be small advisory leads to more outcomes for our students and our staff and our school. So thank you, the CCR team. I do want to highlight that other picture is over the winter holiday with our fire pathway. Our fire instructor dressed up as Santa, our students were in their uniforms, and they went around to the GCC elementary schools and was able to show off Santa at most of our elementary schools, so that was a fun event for our students and our staff. And then I do want to affirm we've been increasing our clubs on campus, and I want to affirm Principal Warburton for just her innovation on increasing students on campus, and one of those ways is to build clubs. I mean, have the things that the students enjoy doing, get them on campus, and then take it from there. And she's really been an innovator in that way. And what's next for Saba? Saba will continue to work on our 5-year vision of 100% of our graduates leave college and career ready. As Saba becomes more individualized to meet the needs of each student population at each of the school, we're really looking at how that looks per Saba school. So Saba TR is really going to be jumping into the academy model next school year, where they'll have 2 teachers and a CTE teacher wrap around a cohort of students to provide all the necessary content, knowledge, support, intervention, and CTE, and really have a team that guides them from 9th grade to 12th grade. Our Sava Elk Grove campus is really focused on students on campus more. They're going to be implementing a 4-3-2-1 model where there will be a lot, 4-3-2-1 means the days on campus, and there'll be a lot more days on campus for students. And one of those other tweaks to that is that our CTE will become a 1-year progression with an increased time on campus. And what that allows also is our patient care pathway students to receive their medical assistant certification. And in Sava Sac City, we plan to restructure and grow our cohort model with movement of all cohorted students to Power In and a focus on true IS students at SIM so that we can dedicate the time and the resources for each group. We will continue to look at that. We'll continue to have the remodel for our suite at Sava Elk Grove to house our 7th through 9th graders. As you see more students on campus there, we need a little bit more space. And then the continued goal to increase enrollment and capacity across all the Savas. And then we're looking forward to, not next school year, but the year after, the WASC full self-study. All right, thank you. And do you have any questions?
Thank you. Yes, Jack.
Summer, I want to thank you for your in-depth presentation, and particularly on the data, because I think once again, if you look historically on a timeline, the learning loss as a result of COVID, we're still struggling to get that learning back with those students. I like the professional learning team concept. Appreciate the comments there and the learning plan that you had. Keep the connection of that Sac State connection. That's really nice. You said 6 students have already been accepted into the program. And it just hit me. I can't imagine, a year ago, who would have thought that being a drone pilot is a career path? Don't tell the military anything about this, but it really does, it is. You watch anything on the media now, there are drones everywhere doing the TV shots. And obviously they have to train those people, because I keep thinking one of them is going to fall out on the crowd somewhere. So I really appreciate that being a career path and your pursuing that as a concept. Again, just keep up the good work for Sava, and I really appreciate your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Anyone else, board members? Thank you. I know you have some staff here. Can we see all the staff people? And we appreciate the work that they two are doing, because you could not do it by yourself. It's because of them that you're having the kind of success that you're showing here. One thing I want to know, in your data process and the dashboard, you mentioned IXL.
IXL, yes. So IXL is, you'll hear some of our other GCC schools talking about iReady, the platform that they use for the diagnostic tests.
Okay.
IXL is another platform. It provides diagnostic tests, and it also provides intervention support. And it does amazing. I think their highlight is the intervention support, because it really drills down on the gaps in student learning and provides supplemental instruction and support for our students. And so that's the time that, in the one slide that you'll see, time that students are spending extra. They're not getting credits for it, but they're spending extra time so that they can fill their knowledge gaps. And then you can see the skills mastered in English and math. Those are the ones that they've now mastered and they can now move forward with. So our intervention teachers and our intervention time are really utilizing that as we move forward, and then we are using that right now as a pilot for the local diagnostic test.
I know the academics has been a strong component lately, making sure that students are meeting the academics along with all the CTE programs. Okay, any other comments, board members?
Yes, so just a few comments. Definitely want to affirm summer and the entire Saba team, really, some team, the entire Saba team for really their work to increase, students on campus more, the dual enrollment work, the work around, I call it redesigning the school for the future. So a lot of great work has happened there, and I just want to make sure the board knows that from my seat. And then Leslie, how is my funeral science student doing? So Leslie has a dual enrollment student who is going through the funeral science program as part of her it was one of the most fascinating students that I met this fall because I never knew we had a student going through funeral science. But again, very. Yeah, it's a job that never, people are dying to get into. Sorry, John, I was leaving the bad jokes for you.
I've got a few. She set you up so well, sir.
Yeah, but I do want to just say that I am really happy to see the work that, especially that slide around dual enrollment and that connection, because I think that's the next level for our students, especially in communities that traditionally have not had college as an option. So great job, Saba team. Let's keep up the good work.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. I will get us back on task. Okay, board members, we are now down to consent agenda items. And we have quite a few. Approve adoption of the GCC board meeting, approve personnel consent agenda, purchases over 30,000, 20, 26, 27 salary schedule and positions, update or revisions, memorandum of understanding with Yolo County Office of Education for EPIC, California Interscholastic Federation CIF League representatives, and approve resolutions. And we have resolutions for collaborative charter, CalSTRS resolution, that's what it is. Futures, Community Outreach Academy, Gateway International, Higher Learning Academy, and Salva, Sacramento Academic and Vocational Academy. All of these are CalSTRS resolutions. And so with that, I will entertain a motion for, did I miss one?
Just additionally, you have item 8, which.
Oh, approve field trips, okay. Approve Salva, PI, Camp Lotus, and COA Middle School Rehabilitation Project Extension Agreement. So all of those were under approved. Did I get them all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great.
Move approval.
Move approval?
Second.
Second. All right, we have move approval on all of the consent agenda. Any discussion? One question, okay.
I'm just saying, we need to check in on those Chromebooks, we paying $550 a piece, so we need to find somewhere we can find some better deal.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
just to address that, Director Block, we did look into it. This current is actually $62 less than our previous order. So we are going in the right direction in terms of our technology costs. But we did look in terms of increased costs for these goods and materials. But we are being very aware and staying on top of that for you.
Okay.
We short of money now.
All right, so roll call. Mr. Harry Block?
Good.
Mr. Bruce Mandrick?
Yes.
Mr. Jack Turner?
Yes.
Lily Campbell, yes. So the consent agenda has been approved unanimously with those board members present. All right, moving into the next item would be curriculum and instruction. And we have opened the hearing on this. The board will now open the public hearing on the independent study compliance report and annual review. Mr. John Campbell, are you ready to present? All right. Okay, you ready?
Put the red button, it's not the one to push, but it is. All right. Good afternoon, Superintendent Sampson, President Campbell, Board, Executive Cabinet. I'm here to talk today about not just the public hearing for reviewing our independent study board policy, but to give you an afternoon about some of the actions I've taken in the area of compliance for the current school year. Have a presentation?
You do?
Oh.
You have a
All right, there it is. All right. So, like I said, I'm just going to start with you sharing with you some of the tasks I've accomplished in my new role as Director of Independent Study Compliance, talk about the focus of my work up to this point in the year, share specifically a couple of the action items that I've accomplished, and then end by sharing some of the future goals, which will also include a discussion around the requirement to update our board policy on independent study. Excuse me. All right. I just want to give you some specifics and context about independent study law to help understand some of the work that our schools and our teachers are required to do in regards to determining attendance for independent study. Back to my first days as an independent study teacher back in 1999, there really hasn't been a lot of change to independent study law. The most significant was a letter signed here in 2004 by the CDE that established what we call the two-step process for determining independent study attendance. Those two steps being the first step, where we have to ensure there's engagement on each school day in assignments assigned by a teacher. And then we have to make sure that there was a completion of work during a learning period. A learning period can be a period of 10 days for students grade TK5 and up to 20 days for students grade 6 through 12. So, and then what you see here is there's 10 audit areas that we have to take into consideration where evidence could be requested as part of our audit, which is actually starting next week. So, and then specifically to Area 1 under board policy, today we are here to review our board policy to determine if any changes are needed per education code. So, and other areas we've been working on this year include our attendance reports, work samples, daily engagement, a lot of which you're going to hear about, and our tier re-engagement process, which was new last school year. So again, some of the work that I endeavored into this year really started with trying to engage and explore with our independent study school staff to make sure I truly understood some of the practices and procedures we were using to facilitate our compliance process. So I didn't want to go in and assume. Of course, I was somewhat familiar with what we're doing at GCCS, but as I did come to find, all sites were doing something a little bit unique. So, that work led us to providing a level of professional development for multiple staff, including the December 1st training done by our legal representative from Young Ming Corps, Ms. Lisa Corps. I gotta say that I just love working with Lisa Corps. I remember her from some of the days of our initial charter renewals, that she would come in at the end and tell the board, here's why you guys can't deny this charter. I was like, yeah, what she said. So it was great. I was a little geeked out to work with Lisa. Right, but in addition to that, we also continue to attend trainings and webinars. So I could build my own skills and knowledge and dig a little bit deeper. I did as a site administrator. So I truly understood some of the changes that occurred over the past years, and especially in 2021, 2022, and 2024. I established some site leaders meetings with all of the IS leaders to try to trickle that down to them. And then we did some either site level meetings with all teachers, or in some cases site-pointed focus group meetings, so we could dig a little bit deeper into the training and build some new understandings based on the guidance that we were receiving. So, in addition, you can hear about some pre-audits that I did. I worked around our initial administrative policy for independent study, and really how we try to focus on taking some of our practices just from good to better to best. That's the one. All right. So starting with pre-audits. And I conducted these very comparably to how we would experience our actual audit next week, where I provided sites a list of students about 24 to 48 hours before. I identified areas that I was going to be focusing on. I didn't do all 10 areas each time. And it was just a process for me to learn a little bit more about what they were doing and help grow their understanding of what's going to be experienced in each area. And the positives is that we were able to establish what we call a daily engagement tracker. This is something that we use to kind of more specifically and consistently track that step one of daily engagement in academics on each school day that I referenced before. And then also I was able to get some really good feedback on our tier re-engagement process. I want to affirm Dr. Jones, so here, and her team for our work in that to really make sure that we were following all the requirements under Ed Code and how we were attempting to re-engage students. And that feedback helped us kind of streamline the timeline and make sure that we were having all the required answers all the required actions, and still having a good impact on that. And then the opportunity or the kind of next step that you'll hear me talk more about as far as what I want to do moving forward was that we really should be providing individualized trainings for groups of staff. That we have some classified staff, teachers, administrators, they're doing something a little bit different in the process, right? Our master agreements, the second one there is something that we have many classified staff that are doing that. And so what is their understanding of the law, and make sure that they're aware of that so they can make sure that's happening within their work. So the next thing is a few internal practices that we focused on this year. Again, part of taking things from good to great. We started by working to implement a fully digital master agreement, including all of the signatures. E-signatures were now allowable after a couple of years ago, back I believe in 2021. And especially with the growth of our virtual programs, especially Connections Academy, we were able to put this together. I really want to affirm our data department between this process and some of our parent notifications, which is the second bullet there. They really work to continue to find that next right answer and overcome challenges again and again. Working with Aries sometimes especially can be a little bit of a challenge, so it was great to work with them, and I really want to affirm Adam and Sean for their work. So again, we talked about the daily engagement tracker and tiered re-engagement. What I want to highlight here. Just really the data department supported us throughout. So, and I definitely want to affirm the site leadership from all the SAVA and CCS sites for their work and just being flexible and working to find the next right answer to work with us to solve all of these new challenges. So, moving forward, the focus for the next school year, I am going to work to complete my API in May. I've been waiting because I want us to be able to go through the audit next week and get some feedback from the auditors as far as what their vision is on some of the things that we're working toward. The advice Lisa Core gives at every training that I've been with her probably ever is check with your auditor, right? So that's what we're going to do next week. I've been working with Valerie here, I think she's not here now, this afternoon to make sure that we can put that together. I mentioned putting together a series of trainings for leadership, certificating classified staff, and so really after next week I'll be putting the rest of that together. So really the main concept that I want to keep in mind through this work is that it is clear in Ed Code in multiple places that we must be establishing programs that are of quality and quantity to a site-based school. And so there's a lot of areas that encapsulates even that transcend beyond the work of compliance, but I'm really trying to take that into account as I move my work forward. So, again, my last slide here is just a little bit of a paraphrase, part of what will be kind of part of my API of what the board is supposed to do on an annual basis, which is requiring us to have a public hearing and complete an update of our independent study board policy. This year there are no changes in education code, so there really is no change that's going to be required of our policy. And I'm not going to read this slide to you, but we are required to have a public hearing and do this annually prior to June 30th of the school year. So, again, I appreciate your support and approving this position, and I'm just opening up for any questions before we move through the public hearing. So.
Yes.
John, I want to thank you for your presentation. I think I need to comment that given your career, you're probably, with independent study, you're probably one of the most knowledgeable individuals in the state.
After the last few months, I can't disagree with that now. So, although I'm not a lawyer like Lisa Core, I'm definitely trying not to add.
Exactly, look at your law degree.
Sure.
But I will say, we do know that the independent study programs have been under the microscope with the legislature and even on the national level. But those of us in the room here who deal with education know that truly, independent study, homeschooling, whatever else is out there, virtual academies, everything, they're really on the cutting edge of what's happening in traditional education. They're never going to put the traditional education model back together. It isn't going to happen. And it's for a variety of reasons, and we could spend an hour now talking about what's changed with everything, dealing with the whole environment for education in the state. I really appreciate your presentation. And again, I appreciate us having this information here.
Yeah.
Because I think we'll probably want to, I go out on a limb and say this, I think of any board, in both traditional or charter school boards, we're probably the most informed and truly understand how it works and how it should work correctly. So again, thank you.
Great, thank you, Jack. And I would just add that in a training with Lisa Corda that Mr. Coyne and I attended in February, that one thing they alluded to was that they're going to be asking more of auditors, really, giving more to them as far as what they should be looking at with us. I think that there's sometimes an understanding that auditors aren't educators, so do they understand everything they're looking at? And also, the idea that teachers are able to make the determination, even an administrator shouldn't question it, which is in the code, does make it, sometimes challenging to understand exactly what we should be providing to auditors, but, we're gonna put our best foot forward, and, to me, I think part of our practice to go from good to better to best is in response to knowing that there's a microscope under charters and independent schools and independent study schools, and we're both, so, or we have both here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Kim, are there any members of the public who would like to comment on this item?
We have no public.
We have no public comments. All right, at this time, I will close the public hearing. And I believe this is an item for approval, public hearing and approval. So I need a motion.
Move approval.
Approval?
Second.
Second. Any other discussion, comments?
Yes, Madam
Yes.
President, just so that the board is clear, what you're approving tonight is that you have reviewed the current board policy, and you're reaffirming that the policy does meet the requirements of Ed Code and law. And also the board has been provided the 2026-27 master agreement that we will use as our guiding document for next year. So that's what you are.
Correct. I would say that the master agreement is not something that is required to be board approved as part of this process, but because the board policy and the master agreement language is so aligned, because we want to review them together. If we were making changes to the board policy, we would be also making changes to the master agreement and have, Lisa Ford and her team reviewing that for sure to make sure that we're, meeting our requirements.
Okay, so we've heard what it is that we are approving. So with that, roll call. Ms. Harry Block?
Yes.
Mr. Bruce Mandrake?
Yes.
Mr. Jack Turner?
Yes.
Billy Campbell, yes. So item has been approved, and thank you so much for your work and your directorship and being part of this organization. Thank you, John. Really appreciate it. John, did you have any other staff here that's working?
Well, I'm a department of one now here. I would say we, because Joy and Deep and her team support me, but yeah, I got the CCS team with me.
All right, great. I just wanted to acknowledge. Yeah, I see you. I see you. That's what made me think about acknowledging you.
And at the back of the school.
All right. Okay, we are now at item 12, central administration item. And this is approved the superintendent student advisory council recognition resolution.
Yes, thank you, Madam President, members of the board. Annually, staff, we come and ask you to approve a resolution recognizing the young men and women who served as students on the Superintendent's Advisory Council. The board president and myself will present these items to the students, I believe at their end of year luncheon in the month of May. And so, again, this is just something for those students to be recognized for their commitment, their dedication, and the time they spent this year. So we're seeking a yes vote.
Okay,
Move approval.
move approval.
Second.
Second, any other comments or discussion? Hearing none, roll call. Harry Block,
Yes.
Bruce Mandrake,
Yes.
Jack Turner,
Yes.
Lily Campbell, yes. So that advisory council recognition resolution has been approved unanimously. Thank you very much. The next item for approval is the GCC bylaws and article of incorporation revision. We received that in our packet.
Yes.
Anything else?
Just board, this item is really kind of what I call cleanup language as we are continuing to do our work. Director Berrigan, myself, and legal counsel have been working in terms of our CalSTRS work. And so what this does is it just talks about upon dissolution of a school, or an LEA, excuse me, where those assets would be housed. And so we needed to more clearly delineate that and define that in our bylaws. Once the board has approved both the bylaws and the articles of incorporation, they will be then filed with the California Secretary of State's office. We will do those on a more immediate basis so that they'll go into effect sooner.
Okay. Any comments or questions on this item before we approve? Hearing none, may I have a vote? I mean, a motion, I'm sorry, excuse me.
Move to approve.
Move to approve. Second. Any other discussion? I got ahead of myself. Hearing none, seeing none, roll call. Mr. Aaron Block?
Yes.
Mr. Bruce Mandrick?
Yes.
Mr. Jack Turner?
Yes.
Lily Campbell, yes. Thank you so much. That item has been approved unanimously. Thank you. All right. We are now down to board comments. I know we have some comments. Board. Oh, yes, we do have some comments. Yes. Yes, sir, Mr. Mandrick.
Thank you, Madam President. I would like to make a public announcement tonight that I will be leaving this board. My choice, but I am hoping not to leave GCC. I've been talking to my fellow board members and talking to Jason to see if there are some other ways that I can volunteer my service with GCC. And so while I will be leaving the board, I hope that I will be seeing all of you in some other capacity as we move down the road. GCC has a number of different boards and committees and so forth. So this is something I have discussed with the board. Been an extremely rewarding experience. I would like to talk just a little history for those out there that may not have been here as long as a couple of us have been. I was with the Grant High School District back in the day, as they say, and I was the chief business official for the district when the district was approached by a charter school that had been abandoned because the law changed requiring charter schools to be in the territory of the LEA that was sponsoring them. And from a school district perspective, we weren't real excited about charter schools. But the superintendent, Dr. Buchanan, back then said, well, you know, let's work with them. Let's really give this thing a go. And so, as the chief business official, I was heavily involved on developing the first MOU between that charter school and the district. And that was a dependent charter back there, which meant that the superintendent, Dr. Buchanan, could appoint the first board. And the first board that was appointed was a 3-member board, and Jack Turner was one of those original board members. So he goes back a little bit further than I did. But he was there when it was formed, and he and I and the attorneys worked out, and the superintendents respectively, worked out the first MOU and the first agreement between the charter schools and the district. And then a few years later, Jack found himself as the remaining board member of those 3. One board member had moved along and the other unfortunately had passed away. And so it was up to Jack at that point to reform the board and to bring it back up to its full membership. I was retired at that point, but I was still working with the district and approached Jack, asking him telling him I was interested in perhaps getting on the board. We had a number of very interesting discussions back then. He coming from the charter school side, and I was, of course, coming from the public school side. But after a while, he decided to take a chance, and I appreciate that and thank him for that. And I was the 4th board member appointed to the board, and there were 2 of us, and Jack appointed the 3rd member at that point. At some point, a little bit later, that was expanded to 5 members, and I don't remember the exact timing on that, but as it stands today. So, like I said, it's been a real rewarding experience, and I want to thank all the board members, those that are here and those that aren't, that have been part of the board along the way for their support. Thank the superintendent. He's been more than supportive, as was the former superintendent, Dr. Cindy Peterson. And I really want to thank all of the staff members district-wide. You know, this started as a small enterprise with 1 charter and a couple hundred kids and a few employees. And you just have to look where we are today with, I think, 1,000 employees, over 5,000 kids, 9 different charters. I'm not even sure the final number of sites that we have out there. They keep growing and multiplying. But it's been a fabulously well-run, from a staff level, district, and that's why both educationally and administratively and financially, we are where we are today. So the community and I thank you for all of the things you've done there. And like I said, it's not goodbye I'm saying here this evening. It's more auf Wiedersehen or hasta luego. I will be around and be working with many of you, I hope, in the future.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Jack.
I just want to say, Bruce, it's been an honor to serve with you. And I think you're modest, because the GCC would not be where it is today without the truly financial intellect that you brought to this organization, but just that over the years, and we've served together for a long time, I look for an opportunity, and I hope I'll work with the superintendent on this, that I have an opportunity. I love to speak, so I have an opportunity at some event later on to talk a little bit more about our background and that first meeting that we had and the creation of the grant community charters. And yes, and I feel your emotion also, because it's truly turned into, it's hard to put into words, but it's been very, very successful. And again, I really appreciate having the students come, because that constantly brings me back to the reason we do this. And their career paths and where they're going and so forth. So Bruce, again, I really, it's an honor to serve with you.
Thank you, Jack. I don't know how many of you know that, but it's because of Bruce that I'm here. I don't know if he remembers, we were at a mutual friend's birthday dinner, and he came to me and said, hey, you want to think about becoming a board member of the charter school? I had just retired, I think I had retired from the Rio Linda School District and the Grant School District, because I went to the Grant School District. And I looked at him and said, I don't know a thing about charter schools, but it's a new learning. Yeah, maybe I will do that. But what I found out later was that the superintendent told him to check out me. So that's what I heard, whether it's all happened that way or not. But it is because of Bruce that I am here. And I am very thankful, because this has been one of the greatest experiences, along with all of the others that I've had. I have enjoyed and will continue to enjoy working here. And I am very thankful and blessed to be here, thanks to Bruce. And Bruce, we're gonna miss you. But we know you'll be around. We know you'll be doing some other things, but we really appreciate you because whenever there's finances, we look to him and say, what do you think? You know, what should we be doing? How should we do this? Because what we try to do is use the skills of each of the board members who are sitting here. And that's what makes this board a great board with which to work, because we utilize the skills of the people with whom we are sitting. So thank you, and we're not saying goodbye, we're just gonna say we're gonna miss you from sitting right here. That's okay. I see you, Mr. Block.
Yeah, I gotta say something to Carl. Bruce and I go back a long ways too. When he was at Grant, I was around there, making peace, disturbing people, because I was on the Del Paso School Board. And when we resigned and made it all Twin Rivers, we named from Grant to Twin Rivers, then they started looking at me, and I said, oh, Lord. So they said, you can't quit now. So, you know, Bruce was part of my life too, so I used to go to Bruce for good advice about how we manage money and so forth, this and that, when he was on Grant. So we've been together for a long time. And his wife used to see me all the time, because I was on the Del Paso, she ran Alberta school, she was the superintendent then. And so we go back a long way, so, you know, it's good still. And Bruce, you'll be missed. You know that, Bruce. All right, thank you.
All right, so I definitely have to share a few things just from staff, and then I'm gonna split my time with Omira, our CBO, because of course she'll wanna say something, because Bruce, you've made a huge impact on this board. I won't go as far back as everybody, but at one point in history, I had the opportunity to be your board member, and then fast forward, you're my board member. And one of the things that every superintendent wants is a board that is supportive, a board that holds us accountable, but also a board that brings wisdom and knowledge. And Bruce, that is what you have brought to myself personally, as well as to this group. And so you're gonna be missed. And yes, Jack, we're gonna have some kind of, you know, shindig where we can all, you know, roast or something.
Give it about an hour.
Give you about an hour, okay. So we'll make sure whatever we do, we'll give, you know, a good chunk of time. But Bruce, you've made your mark on this organization, and you've made your mark on this board, and that mark continues. And so I'm excited to see what that next chapter is. All right, Omira.
Put me on the spot for last, huh? Just want to thank you for the expertise that you've brought in support of my work as CBO of this organization. And it's been some difficult years, and learning, obviously, as the first CBO in this charter. I appreciate everything that you've provided, both Jason and I, in terms of guiding us through situations and financial pieces that come with running an organization this large. So thank you. And we will miss you, but we know you're not going too far.
You know, a lot of people don't realize how complicated an organization like ours is. These people manage 9 different school districts. It's not like one school district. Each report that any school has to file, we have to file 9 times. And yes, it's kind of run as a school district. In fact, my fellow board members are saying we're finally a school district. But it is extremely complicated on all levels, the administrative level, especially the finance and business level. And hopefully, and I know that individual charter schools see themselves working with all the other schools and principals, so it's a little, you don't see it sometimes how complicated it is out there, but it really is.
Ms. Joanne.
Thank you. I found myself getting suddenly emotional when you started announcing your departure, Bruce, but on behalf of many of the staff who were present during that time when the charter school came to you asking you to approve their charter, we say thank you. There are many staff who've been here for a really long time, who have relied upon your steady hand, your calm presence, and your level-headed decision-making. And on behalf of the staff and the administrators, thank you.
So, Madam President, just a quick note, with this announcement, what I will do is I will communicate to the board via our Friday letter, just whatever timelines or next steps may be. So if you will give staff a couple of days to pull that together, I will make sure that we share that.
And you're speaking in terms of replacement and looking at a board member
That
to
would be
take
correct.
his place. Okay, I just want to make sure that we understand.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Anything else for the good? Let's see, I don't want to miss anything. Any more board comments? Hearing none, all right. What am I missing?
So one more comment just for the board to know. I've already asked our Director of Student Services, Director Dillon, to follow up with the student comment earlier. So she will follow up and report back to me, and then I will share that information with the board.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right. Announcement of our next board meeting.
Yes, our next board meeting is going to be Tuesday, May 12th at, 4:45 here.
May 12th. All right. Any other closing comments? Anything else? Thank all of you who are here, all of you who stayed, hear all the presentations, and Saba for doing your presentation, Mr. Campbell for doing the presentation, and I gotcha. And all of you who stayed around, thank you so much. And this is Tuesday, have a great week. Thank you. And so with that, I will entertain, we're not quite finished. I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
Move that we adjourn.
Second.
Second, all in favor? Aye. The ayes have it. So, thank you.